Hello everyone, my name is Coxer, Director of Creations Greatness Incorporated, and today, as you can see, we have... I made another flight computer. This is the version 5. It is very, very nice. It improves over the version 4 in a lot of ways. This was the version 4. Its problems, its most major problem is this section back here. It uses suspension glitches to do minor corrections. As you can see with this version, it does not do that. It has no module where there is a suspension glitch system. What it does instead is, as you can see with these thrusters, the V4 would only adjust the thrusters if there was a major change in tilt. With this, I instead opted to add more logic to it. It now has 93 logic gates. Now, I'm not going to go into detail on exactly how the version 4 worked, since I already made a video on that one. Basically, it pulsed controllers really, really quickly, and it kept the signal on to increase thruster angle and off to decrease it, and pulsing was keeping it at the same position, which works well to have real-time control over the position of a bearing, and in this case, it allowed me to go from no thrust to full thrust. It would only adjust the actual controllers if the suspension glitch was found to be significantly off, which these are little sensor modules, very accurate. If the whole thing is very off, then it adjusts the thrusters. Otherwise, if it's slightly off, it uses the suspension glitches. This worked amazing for tiny creations. I don't know fully why, but whenever you try and put in a larger creation, as far as I'm aware, the suspension glitches are not powerful enough. Wobble is out of control because it cannot make any minor rotation adjustments. But this fixes that. Now, instead of just having full on-off pulse, and full off, it has more than that. It can do a sort of pulse where it's on for longer than it is off. So it still increases angle, but slower than a full pulse. So that is what we use for minor corrections. For major corrections, we still use the full on. For minor corrections, we use pulse width modulation, which is the technical term for what this is. And it works very, very well. Exceptionally well. There are a few issues, and I think that comes from the fact that you can see it is also like this in the version 4. The suspension glitches, they actually act as a stabilizer. So what I think happens, yeah, you can see it's like a stabilizer on this one. It's also on this one. If I pick this one up, yeah, you can see there it's also tilting as well. And that's because even though they are on a bearing, right there, I don't know why you can't see it, that's odd. There's two of them, each on only one bearing going in opposite directions, which basically acts as just one suspension glitch, not on a bearing at all. So as far as I'm aware, what happens with this is my current theory. I'll improve it later. The 5.1 is what happens is when I try to do the minor adjustments to do small amounts of correction, the suspension glitches fight this. And so it overshoots. And when it overshoots, and then tries to correct for its overshooting, which turns it into a feedback loop. Very slow feedback loop, I will say. Very, very slow. However, it does exist. If I get myself my handy-dandy logic gate, you will be able to see I have invented a new pulsing system. It takes 7 gates, however 2 of the gates can be reused. That is what this thing uses. So it does work a bit differently. You can see it has more gates, as I just said. And the thing it works exactly the same. Pulses by default. If you turn it on, full on. If you turn it off, full off. The difference is that if you turn both of them on, it pulses. Before, the logic was set up so that the on signal would take priority. So if both were on, it would be full on. That was a slight problem with this, because as you can see, there are many different connections going into many different things all at the same time. And just like in general, they would just interfere with each other. One taking the priority was just not a suitable thing for this. And with this system, it would cause it to really, really like to go upward for some reason. So that's what this new system does. I'll make a guide on how to build it later. Anyway, let's demonstrate this. Alright, so as you can see, here we are in our beautiful flyer. Now the controls are 3 to turn on. Of course, it's the same controls as last time. 1 to go up. And up we go. And if what more? We can go down. Oh, that was not good. Now, I didn't actually add any controls to this thing yet, because I needed to get this video out today, and I just didn't have the extra time to do that. I spent most of my time messing with audio, because I wanted some good audio. I need to get a better microphone, let's be honest with ourselves. I just need... Why am I going to the side? It also likes to do this a lot. This is exactly what I'm talking about with the, suspension glitch problem. It resists... The suspension glitch makes it resist trying to correct itself, which eventually, it trying to correct itself constantly builds up and forces you to go to the side. But, yeah, so that's the Flight Computer version 5. I'll make an updated video with it, like, actually in something later, and with real controls and everything, and hopefully get a better gyro system, because the real only problem is that with the suspension, I don't need to change any logic, I just need a better gyroscope sensor thing. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. I wish I recorded this video yesterday, but yesterday I was also messing with audio stuff. And by messing with audio stuff, I mean I was doing homework because I still go to school. But today I had time to mess with my audio stuff. So I did that for a while, and then I, messed with audio stuff. But now, I have amazing noise canceling, which took a while to set up. Bye! This has been Conquer, Director of Creation Greatness Incorporated. I forgot what my outro was, let's be honest with ourselves, it doesn't really matter.